Hey everyone, welcome back to Sir Petsy Classroom, and today we'll be talking about graphing circles in the Cartesian plane. So let's start. In our previous video lesson, we talked about equations of a circle. Specifically, we write equations of a circle from standard form to general form and vice versa. In this video lesson, we'll be talking about sketching the graph of a circles in the Cartesian plane. But before we go to graphing, do you know how to determine if the graph of a circle exists or not? Let us consider the following table. We have here three examples. In number 1, the general form is x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 14y plus 54 equals 0. So the standard form of that is x minus 3, the quantity squared, plus y minus 7, the quantity squared, equal to 4. And the center is at 3, 7. And the radius is 2. In number 2, x squared plus y squared plus 4x plus 8y plus 20 equals 0. And the standard form of that is x plus 2, the quantity squared, plus y plus 4, the quantity squared, which is equal to 0. The center is negative 2, negative 4, and the radius is 0, which means 0 distance between the center and any point on the circle, which means the graph is just a point. In number 3, the general form is x squared plus y squared minus 2x plus 12y plus 53 equals 0. And the standard form is x minus 1, the quantity squared, plus y plus 6, the quantity squared, equals negative 16. We can determine the center as 1, negative 6. However, the radius is an imaginary number. The graph of this equation does not exist in the Cartesian plane, since the numbered lines are real numbers and the radius is imaginary number. So based on this observation, the existence of a circle depends on the value of r squared. If our equation is in standard form, x minus h, the quantity squared, plus y minus k, the quantity squared, is equal to r squared, wherein hk is the center of the circle, the graph exists if r squared is greater than 0. The graph is just a point if it is equal to 0, your r squared. And if r squared is less than 0, then the graph does not exist. Let's have an example. Determine whether the equation 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 16x minus 20y plus 82 equals 0 represents a circle, a point, or has no graph, or the graph does not exist. So let's write the equation 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 16x minus 20y plus 82 equals 0. Let us write this equation in standard form. So first, each term of the equation is divisible by 2. So we multiply both sides of the equation by 1/2. So this will be x squared plus y squared plus 8x minus 10y plus 41 equals 0. After that, let us recall, we group in terms containing the variable x. So we have x squared plus 8x plus y squared minus 10y equals, we place the constant in the right side of the equation. So we have negative 41. Make this x squared plus 8x a perfect square trinomial. So what are we going to add to make it a perfect square trinomial? So coefficient of the middle term niya, ito yung magiging middle term. So 8 divided by 2, that is 4. Then you square, which is 16. So in the right side, we must also add 16. plus y squared minus 10y. What must be added to make it a perfect square trinomial? So we have negative 10 divided by 2, that is negative 5 squared, that is 25. So you add 25 on the right side. So we can write this as x plus 4, the quantity squared, plus y minus 5, the quantity squared, which is equal to 0. Since r squared is equal to 0, then we can now conclude that the graph of the equation 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 16x minus 20y plus 82 equals 0 is a point. Okay? So that's how we determine if it is a point, a circle, or no graph yung graph ng circle. Let's have another example. Determine the value of x so that the graph of x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y equals k plus 5 is a circle, a point, or does not exist. Remember, it is a circle if the radius squared and r squared is greater than 0. If your r squared is equal to 0, then it is a point. And it does not exist, or there's no graph form if your r squared is less than 0. Now, let us rewrite the equation x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y equals k plus 5. Let's write the equation in standard form. So we can write this as x squared plus 4x plus y squared minus 6y equals k plus 5. What must be added to x squared plus 4x to make it a perfect square trinomial? So that is 4. We must also add 4 on the right side of the equation. What must be added to y squared minus 6y to make it a perfect square trinomial? So that is equal to 9. So plus 9. So we can write this as x plus 2, the quantity squared, plus y minus 3, the quantity squared, which is equal to k plus 18. So this is now your r squared, right? Remember, the graph is a circle if r squared is greater than 0. So r squared is k plus 18, so k plus 18 is greater than 0 and k is greater than negative 18. So by addition property of inequality. Now, the graph is a point if r squared is equal to 0. So k plus 18 is equal to 0. So k is equal to negative 18. And last, there is no graph form if r squared is less than 0. So by substituting, k plus 18 is less than 0, so k is less than negative 18. Okay, so the graph exists if k is greater than negative 18, which means negative 17, negative 16, negative 5.1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. The graph is a point if k is equal to negative 18. And there's no graph exist, or there's no graph form if your k is less than negative 18, like negative 19, negative 20, negative 100, and so on. Since we already know how to determine if the graph of an equation exists or not, let's proceed now to graphing a circle in the Cartesian plane. So we are now ready to sketch the graph of the circle. Let's consider the following steps in graphing circles in the Cartesian plane. So first step is write the equation of the circle in standard form. After that, determine the center and radius of the circle. After determining the center and radius of the circle, plot the center on the Cartesian plane. From the center, you are going to count R units horizontally and vertically to locate 4 points on the circle. And then after determining that one, the center and the points determined in step D will serve as a basis in graphing the circle using a compass or your DIY compass. Let's have an example. Sketch the graph of the circle in a Cartesian plane given the conditions below. So let's proceed first with number 1. So given na yung ating center and radius. So ang gawin lang natin, we need to locate asan si -1, -2. So -1, here is -1, down ng 2 units. So that will be -2. After that, you count 4 units to the right of the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayan. And then count 4 units pataas. 1 from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count 4 units sa left ng center. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 pababa. Okay? After that, we are now ready to use our compass. And that will be the graph of our circle. Okay? Now, let's have number 2. So, number 2 is in standard form. So, we need to determine first the center of the circle, which is 0, 0. And then the radius is equal to the square root of 9, which is equal to 3. Plot first yung center, which is 0, 0, nasa origin. And then we count 3 units sa right. Okay, 3 units. Yan. So pataas, you count 3 units. 1, 2, 3. Pa-left from the center, 1, 2, 3. And then pababa from the center, 1, 2, 3. Okay. From this, with these 4 points, eto na yung graph ng ating circle, which is x squared plus y squared equals 9. Let's have our third example. So, naka-standard form pa rin. So, center is at 1, -3. And then the radius is equal to the square root of 36. That is 6. So, locate 1, -3. So, 1, -3 pababa. Yun. So, that's the center. Count 6 units pa right. Yan. Count 6 units. And then count 6 units pataas from the center of the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pa left sa center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pababa sa center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ako lang yung nalagay ko. So, doon na part. Okay? After that, yun na yung ating circle. And last, yung number 4 natin, naka-general form. So we are going to write it first in standard form. So x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. So you group yung mga terms na may variable x. So that is x squared minus 6x plus y squared equals constant, ilagay natin sa right side, so that will be equals 60. So, what must be added to x squared minus 6x to make it a perfect square trinomial? And that will be plus 9. So, plus y squared equals 16 plus 9. Since this is now y squared and it's already a perfect square, then it will remain as y squared. So, we can now write yung x squared minus 6x plus 9 as a square of a binomial. So, x minus 3 squared plus y squared, which is equal to 25. So, the center is at 3, 0. And then the radius is the square root of 25, which is equal to 5. So locate, where is 30? So 30, nandito yung 30. Yan. Then count 5 units pa left. So yun. And then pataas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pa left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then pababa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are now ready to sketch yung ating circle. And that is now our circle. That's easy, right? So that's all, guys. So very easy ang graphing ng circle in the Cartesian plane. So thank you for watching. See you again in our next video lesson. Keep safe and enjoy learning mathematics. Bye!